Collin was born on February 6, 1997 in Los Angeles, California to parents Blaine and Debbie Morikawa. The family lived in La Cañada, Flint Ridge, an upscale enclave just north of Pasadena. His parents owned a commercial laundry business in downtown Los Angeles, serving restaurants across the city. While not wildly lucrative, the business provided more than enough to support Collin and his younger brother Garrett while also nurturing their interests. Blaine and Debbie were the ones who encouraged Collin to pick up golf, setting the foundation for his remarkable journey. Every prodigy has a mentor who shapes their journey, and for Collin, that mentor is Rick Sessinghaus. With a doctorate in applied sports psychology and decades of experience as both a collegiate and professional golfer, Rick is more than just a golf instructor. He's a performance consultant who helps athletes, executives, and organizations achieve their full potential. Rick began working with Collin when he was just a child, shaping not only his swing but also his mental approach to the game. The foundation of their partnership was built on a balance of technical mastery and mental toughness. In 2005, at just 8 years old, he played in the Shoal Canyon Winter Classic, going toe-to-toe with young golfers from across the country.
An eagle for Morikawa.
He placed fourth, a remarkable debut. Collin honed his skills in the junior golf circuit, displaying an exceptional combination of dedication, natural talent, and composure well beyond his years. By age 13, he had become a fixture in junior tournaments, consistently outperforming peers who are often older and more experienced. At just 16 years old, he captured the prestigious Western Junior title and won by a margin that left little doubt about his dominance. When Collin arrived at the University of California, he was already a standout in the world of amateur golf. But college wasn't just a stepping stone for him, it was a proving ground. While Collin's talent was undeniable, his collegiate career lacked a key ingredient: a win. That changed when he met Catherine Zhu, a fellow golfer. Shortly after they met, Collin got his first collegiate win, and Catherine was officially the good luck charm. While many young golfers rushed to turn pro at their first opportunity, Collin took a different approach. He stayed in school, finishing his degree while refining his game against top-tier collegiate competition. This decision wasn't without its challenges, though. On Smiley's podcast, Collin admitted he briefly considered turning pro after losing in a playoff to Ollie Schneiderjans at the 2016 Air Capital Classic. But he stayed patient, confident that his final year in college would prepare him for the challenges of professional golf. His standout performance at the 2017 Walker Cup validated that decision. Collin dominated the competition, winning all 4 of his matches and solidifying his status as one of the top amateurs in the world. As Collin transitioned to the professional ranks, he began building a team around him, starting with his caddy, JJ. Let's just stick with JJ. Their partnership began at a sectional qualifier where JJ played a crucial role in helping Collin make the cut with clutch putting advice. But this was just the beginning. Before his pro debut, Collin received a simple yet impactful piece of advice from Justin Thomas. Stay on your own path, believe in yourself, you'll get there at some point. And he admitted these words guided him as he navigated the high-pressure world of his early days on the PGA Tour. He finished tied for 14th in his very first event as an official pro, a sign of things to come. At his first US Open, Collin held his own against a world-class field, finishing tied for 35th. He continued to build momentum at the Travelers Championship, followed by a breakout performance at the 3M Open, where he tied for 2nd place. In just his 4th tournament as a pro, Collin came heartbreakingly close to victory, finishing 1 shot behind the winner, Matthew Wolff. The following week at the John Deere Classic, Collin recorded a T4 finish, proving his consistency was no fluke. Collin's breakthrough came at the Barracuda Championship, where he earned his first PGA Tour victory. With Coach Rick by his side, Collin approached the tournament with a laser-focused mindset honed through years of preparation. Listen into this exchange between Collin and JJ during a practice round at the Barracuda.
84 is pin. 84 actual. I'll be 10, 94. Minus 19 is...
The tournament's unique Stableford scoring format rewarded aggressive play, and Collin delivered. This victory not only secured his PGA Tour card, but also established him as one of the tour's brightest young stars. After the Barracuda, Collin continued to impress, finishing tied for 31st at the Wyndham Championship and tied for 52nd at the Northern Trust to wrap up his rookie season. In his first 22 professional tournaments, Collin made every single cut, a streak that put him on the brink of history. He was just 3 tournaments shy of breaking Tiger's record of 25 consecutive cuts made, which brings us to the Travelers Championship, Collin's 23rd event. On Smiley's podcast, Collin revealed the cause. During a practice round, a fellow player offered unsolicited advice on hitting his fade. This threw Collin off mentally, leading to his first missed cut. Despite his disappointment, Collin bounced back the very next week with a victory, showing the resilience that has defined his career. In just his 2nd major appearance, Collin stunned the golf world by winning the PGA Championship with a brilliant final round of 64. His decisive shot, a drive on the par 4 16th hole that that landed just 7 feet from the pin became an instant classic. This victory placed him in the elite company of joining Tiger, Rory, and Jack Nicklaus as the only players to win the PGA Championship at age 23. But there was one glaring downside: no fans. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 PGA Championship was played without spectators. While the win was life-changing for Collin, the lack of roaring crowds dampened what should have been an unforgettable moment of shared celebration. In Collin's interview, he says, "Looking back, it's a little bittersweet. Winning my first major was incredible, but not having fans there made it feel different." Some skeptics even question the legitimacy of his win, drawing comparisons to other championships from the pandemic era, like the Lakers' 2020 NBA title, dismissing them with an asterisk. But Collin never let these doubts define him. Instead, he used them as motivation to prove that his game could transcend circumstances, quiet or chaotic. Collin's confidence was sky high going into the 2021 Open Championship. He stayed composed through the challenging conditions, closing with a bogey-free 66 on Sunday to fend off Jordan Spieth in a stacked leaderboard. His iron play, always his strength, was unmatched, and he showed maturity well beyond his 24 years. And in doing so, Collin became the first player in history to win 2 different majors on their first attempts. At just 24 years old, he had climbed to second in the world rankings and solidified his legacy as a generational talent. Despite his growing trophy collection, Collin has remained a grounded and introspective figure. After winning the WGC, an emotional Collin teared up during his victory speech, thanking Tiger Woods for inspiring him.
I don't think we say thank you enough, so I want to say thank you to Tiger.
Mentioning losing Kobe and dedicating the win to his late grandfather who had just passed away. In a sport where personalities often overshadow accomplishments, Collin's quiet confidence set him apart. But while his reserved nature earned him respect, it also contributed to his being somewhat overlooked by fans and media. After the extreme highs of 2021, Collin's career entered a period of inconsistency. Between his Open Championship win and the 2023 Century Tournament of Champions, his performances were steady but not headline-grabbing. And the 2023 Century Tournament of Champions seemed like the turning point. Collin breezed through 54 holes without a bogey, carrying a 6-stroke lead heading into the final round. But Sunday was a different story. A string of mistakes combined with an incredible charge by Jon Rahm led to Collin blowing the lead, tying a record for the largest 54-hole lead ever squandered. Not a record you want to be known for in professional golf. This heartbreak would set the tone for a challenging year ahead. Following the Century Tournament, Collin showed flashes of brilliance but lacked the consistency that once defined him. The 2023 Farmers Insurance Open, a strong T3 finish with a 10-under score, but he couldn't keep up with Max Homa and Keegan Bradley. Then the Waste Management Open, he missed the cut, raising questions about his mental game. That number 16 is gnarly. His struggles culminated at the 2023 Open Championship, where he missed the cut at a place where he topped the leaderboard just 2 years before. Amid these struggles, Collin made the difficult decision to part ways with Rick Sessinghaus, his coach of nearly 2 decades.
Things happen like that, but 18 years is a long time.
In late 2023, he began working with Mark Blackburn, a renowned instructor who also coached stars like Justin Rose and Max Homa. His decision to switch coaches was seen as both bold and controversial. Many wondered if his challenges were mental rather than technical, and whether severing ties with Sessinghaus, a doctor who had shaped his entire career, was the right move. The change initially seemed to pay off. Collin secured a victory at the 2023 Zozo Championship, showing glimpses of his old self. But the consistency he craved continued to elude him. In 2024, Collin made yet another bold decision. He fired Mark Blackburn and returned to Rick Sessinghaus. The move signaled a return to his roots as Collin sought to rebuild his confidence and reclaim his place among golf's elite. The problem is, for decades, the tour's marketing engine has revolved around a handful of stars. Tiger Woods, Rory, Scotty a little bit, and a little bit of Xander too. But in a world where TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram rule the cultural landscape, the PGA Tour's reliance on traditional narratives and stale coverage is leaving fans and players behind. Golf's new stars aren't just golfers, they're content creators. Bryson's YouTube channel draws millions of views with behind-the-scenes practice videos and collaborations. Max Homa has built a loyal following by roasting amateur swings on Twitter. And of course, Good doing a better job than the entire tour, attracting a younger audience to the game. This shift has left traditional coverage in the dust. We all know this. Fans are tired of overly scripted commentator exchanges and endless slow-motion replays. They want authenticity, raw, unfiltered moments moments from the players, the caddies themselves. Even new leagues like Live Golf and TGL, despite their flaws, have recognized the need for more personality-driven content. And for a player like Collin Morikawa, this outdated formula poses a serious challenge. He's not a polarizing figure like Bryson or a social media darling like Max Homa. His quiet, reserved personality makes him harder to market in a world that rewards bold, brash content. And when Collin finally got the spotlight, it wasn't flattering. Netflix's Full Swing gave viewers an intimate look at the lives of PGA Tour players. I mean, finally, we've been craving this. But Collin's episode felt like a missed opportunity. While Tony Finau was shown tearing up over family struggles and embracing his kids, on the same episode, Collin's screen time leaned into a more corporate, detached narrative. One scene in particular stuck out. Tony chatting with his dad with an apartment complex, cut to Collin on a private jet with his wife, a fancy dog wearing shoes. Instead of showing Collin's fun and relatable side, the show painted him as cold and pretentious, a stark contrast to the emotional depth of Tony's story. The response was predictable. Fans took to social media to criticize Collin for being out of touch. Even attempts to humanize him, like a Jimmy Fallon segment where he joked about putting milk in the bowl before cereal, fell flat. But Collin's still trying, so what can he do? What's the solution here? If the PGA Tour won't adapt and platforms like Netflix are framing him quite poorly, Collin might need to take matters into his own hands. Collin has already shown flashes of what he could be. His dry wit and natural charm shined in this lighthearted moment, leaving fans wanting more. And then moments like this remind us of Collin's potential to forge deeper connections. But even he feels the disconnect. After his final round at the 2024 PGA Championship, Collin said, "Frankly, yes, it's nice to have people root for you, and I feel like people aren't rooting for me out here." You see, Collin knows the problem. Fans crave more access, and he's already advocated for it. More shots, fewer commercials, more real moments. To be honest, Collin doesn't need to reinvent himself. He doesn't need to be louder. He just needs to let fans see more of who he already is. A YouTube series could take that further. His precise training sessions, his camaraderie with JJ, his life in Vegas where basketball meets golf. The trends are already pointing to a future of golf that isn't just about scorecards. It's about players who create moments that fans carry with them. Collin needs to go back to Justin Thomas's advice. Stay on your own path, believe in yourself, you'll get there at some point.